Everyone, it's Pastor Keith here. Hope you are all well this Thursday. Hope you're sheltering in place. Hope you're staying safe. If you are like me during this COVID-19 pandemic, you have been watching a lot of television over the last month and a half. Probably way more television than you should, probably way more television than you should admit. You've probably been watching some pretty good television, and you've probably been watching some pretty lousy television as well. I've watched a fair amount, and one of the things I've been watching over this last week or so is the a limited series documentary called The Innocence Files on Netflix, which chronicles the work of the group The Innocence Project. And their main job is to help get men and women who have been wrongfully convicted out of jail, off death row, out of jail. I was first introduced to the Innocent Project when I read a John Grisham true crime novel about a decade and a half ago. And I love the work that they're doing at the Innocence Project because it resonates deep within me as a Westerner, as a North American, that values the idea of fairness and justice. I resonate with this. But even more, I resonate with this because as a Christian, I realize that Jesus, that his story is the original Innocence File. I mean, Jesus was wrongly arrested and tried as a blasphemer by the Jewish leaders, as an insurrectionist by the Romans. He was falsely condemned, falsely confused, falsely convicted, and then ended up being executed uh, using the most horrific execution device imaginable, the cross. But there is a key difference in Jesus's innocence and what we see on the Innocence Files. Jesus died for us. In Isaiah 53, 5 and 6, it says, "But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. We all like sheep have gone astray. Each of us has turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all." So while I'm fascinated and drawn into the Innocence Files as a documentary series, I'm drawn into the story of Jesus even more because he died as an innocent man on my behalf. But then 3 days later, as we just celebrated the other month, he was raised from the dead. Jesus was raised and vindicated as the Messiah, vindicated in all he said and did. And because of that, we can have freedom and new life. And so, as I challenged you just recently, and I'll challenge you again, as we continue in this shelter in place, and we don't know how long it's going to last, and maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel, I would encourage you, dig further, dig deeper into the story of Jesus, the story of the first Innocent File, a man wrongly accused, wrongly condemned, but ultimately brings us freedom because of that. Read through the Gospels. Read them slowly, read them fast, read them in small chunks, read them in big chunks, reflect, pray, journal. It's a wonderful opportunity to better understand what God did for us in Jesus. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.